Hello, everyone. It's Blaze, and hope you guys are having a happy new year. 2026 is off to a interesting start already, but we're going to look back at last year and see all the gaming-related fails by Josh Scorcher. Honestly, I loved watching some of his videos, so I figured why not react to some of it. This one figured it would be fun. So without delay, let's start this thing. The intros he does for these things are always so crazy. Ooh, another parody song. Is he doing it off of Gangster's Paradise or Amish Paradise? I promise.
As I witness the gaming industry's tragic death, I make another fails list and count down till nothing's left. Cause they've been failing and firing so long that Jacksepticeye said it's time to stop.
Damn.
Stage 2 got some hate, though it barely deserved it. Bringing Virtual Boy back, no, that is unheard of. Pirate software, we're talking about game killing, and the stupid was so bad, the notch was probably some. I really hate to bring up Microsoft, but it costs more than a PC to play Xbox, fool. They've been doing politics and all employees strike. 9,000 all laid off, they're replaced by an AI. Been banned most of life.
He's not the best singer, but it's so entertaining.
Their workers pay the price in the year 2025. Keep failing most our lives in the year 2025. Keep telling all their lies in the year 2025. Got a situation with adult gaming. Can't play those games no more on itch.io with Steam and League removing those chests.
Steam, really?
To be free. That inactive blister boxes, they got them gambling. Ubisoft coming back with money on the mind. Microtransactions and services that are live. And the fails don't stop. Shadows Team Sweatshop. Sonic 3 getting robbed of Minecraft until dawn. PSN.
Yeah, that was stupid.
PS5 Pro. Peach and Toby get replaced without letting them know. Warner Brothers Monolith and Player First closed. His score gets an Activision CEO. Tell me why are they so blind to see that the fails bring down the industry? Been failing most of their lives in the year 2020.
I'm so glad that year's over. It was a weird year. But, oh boy, I'm not looking forward to this year.
Most our lives in the year 2025. Helldivers took a dive in the year 2025. Feature Joe loves money, companies devoured, Minecraft trick and jockey, reputation sour.
That's soup.
Bungie plagiarism, sucky journalism's going down in the courtroom for both Sega and Krafton. Nintendo bans its games from a charity event. Is the predator
Nintendo.
problem something Roblox will prevent? I guess they can't. I guess they won't. Cause instead they banned the one that's putting them away, fool!
Yeah, Roblox is pretty much dead at this point. That was a stupid move by them. I'm sure he's going to explain it, but I'll go into detail once we get to there.
Industry's gonna die in the year 2025. The release of a new console creates a lot of pressure on the company manufacturing said console, and few companies were under more pressure to perform well this year than Nintendo.
Yeah.
Seriously, the amount of discourse surrounding the release of the Switch 2 was staggering and, in some cases, unreasonable. But to show I'm not kissing up to everyone, let's start with some failures on Nintendo's
Mario
part, shall
Galaxy
we?
games.
The launch title for Nintendo Switch
That was
2 was
bad.
Mario Kart World, which naturally drew some excitement for it. But there were a few things Nintendo mishandled. For one, the longtime VA for Peach and Toad, Samantha Kelly, was replaced, and Nintendo didn't let her know that until the day Mario Kart World launched.
That is stupid.
Thankfully, Samantha Kelly was a good sport about it. Additionally, putting in updates that actively make the game less fun got fixed after people rightfully made a stink. and even trying to patent bully Palworld, but that last one doesn't really have a resolution yet, so we'll see how that turns out. All right, have the Nintendo haters left
Nintendo
satisfied
really
yet?
stupid
Good.
this year.
Let's talk about the rest of the Switch 2 discourse. Firstly, and perhaps most importantly, the misinformation. Perhaps the most infamous was the $90 price tag everyone said was going to be the norm for Switch 2 games. This, of course, turned out to be false, as it was actually $80 for some games. Okay, yes, that's still a little expensive, but we gamers have been paying that price for games anyway, and now we're getting mad? Microsoft and Sony increasing prices? Crickets. Microsoft pushing out a $1,000 handheld, or Sony releasing the PS5 Pro?
$1,000?
People mocked it for like a week and then forgot about it. But the slightest increase in the price of a Nintendo game by $10 is all of a sudden the next big gaming industry scandal. Additionally,
the way I see it is, if they're going to start doing it like that, then the rest are going to soon follow, because Nintendo is one of, if not the biggest gaming company out there. And if they're going to start increasing their prices, everyone else is going to soon follow suit, saying, oh, if they're doing it, we should do it too, because we're brainwashed idiots that will buy anything that they remotely like. Like, that's how I see it, because Nintendo has really screwed up a lot in 2025. They screwed up so goddamn hard, so many ways. The Switch 2 definitely was not a big flop like they were, but it's still really good. I have my own Switch 2 right in front of me, and it runs really well. I really do like it. I don't regret my purchase, to be honest. I just wish there was more games on it that I actually do enjoy, because most of the games I'm playing on it are just old Switch games. That really does suck. I only have like 2 Switch 2 games, and they're both... I don't even have the card for it. They're both downloaded ones, the Mario Kart World and Pokemon Legends ZA, to be honest. But it's whatever. I still enjoy these games, but I just hope there's more that I will actually like and want to play coming out this year.
There was the fear-mongering that Nintendo could just brick your Switch if they don't like you making modifications to it.
Oh yeah, that's stupid.
Yes, that's there. And that's been
500
a part of
paperweight.
gaming consoles since the Xbox 360.
Really?
20 years that policy has existed, and it's only a deal breaker if Nintendo
First time I'm hearing
does
about it.
There was also misinformation regarding Switch 2 virtual game cards, particularly in how they were shared, as well as the assumption that this was going to be the new norm going forward. And look, I get it. We want to keep physical media alive, but only a select few third-party games were sold with key cards instead of cartridges. And you can still share the Nintendo Switch 2 games like normal. Despite this bad rap, the Switch 2 would become the biggest console launch ever, selling 3.5 million units worldwide within its first 4 days. However, this is where the Discord takes a turn for the comical, as many gamers who got their consoles from retailers on launch day had the receipt stapled onto the box, puncturing the gamepad screen. What kind of retailer would make such a boneheaded mistake?
Yeah, that was stupid. GameStop, of course.
Oh, of course it's you. Hey, GameStop stores, ever heard of a little thing called tape?
What is this? A secret communication device?
Thankfully, Nintendo responded quickly and replaced the damaged units. Meanwhile, police in Colorado uncovered a semi-truck filled with $1.3 million worth of stolen Switch 2s.
Damn.
So that was, what, 12 consoles? All right, come on, I had to get one in there. No, it's actually around 2,800 consoles that were recovered from the theft. Well, yeah, this clearly showed people just how high in demand these systems were and just how many people were not willing to actually pay for one. There's also apparently an interview with Kirby and Smash creator Masahiro Sakurai where he said he wanted to use generative AI in games. But wouldn't you know
Don't you dare.
It was a mistranslation. How fun. Lastly, the releases of Pokemon Legends ZA and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Apparently, these games have flaws so bad and unacceptable that liking either of them will result in internet folks looking at you like you're thirsty for a big black boot. Like, what?
I love ZA. It was such a fun game.
Companies who have run coordinated
Ubisoft.
abuse rings, and yet Nintendo is looked at as public enemy number 1 over the most minute of texture issues and glitches. Glitches that, by the way, came from playing the games on emulators. I mean, that's an easy fix. You could always play the game legally. So why all the bad press? I have a theory about that. Money, money, money. That's right. It's a negativity grift. Other people more meticulous than I am have noticed a pattern. Talking smack about Nintendo brings in valuable views and mad moolah. At least compared to talking smack about other companies.
Nintendo. Bad.
Ha!
With the Nintendo Switch 2 being such a big deal for the gaming market, it's not surprising that it would get negative press along with the positive. Honestly, this is a pretty comical start to the list. It's just people on the internet and in real life being idiots. A typical Wednesday, but the games can still be enjoyed as long as you don't have a bitch in your ear telling you that they suck. But if it's criminal...
I will say I do agree on certain things, like the price being $500 for basically the Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World. That one I 100% agree with. That one I cannot stand for. That one is still ridiculous, but minor things like graphics, that one kind of is just dumb. I understand like certain things, like, okay, why is it like this, but then you do this, like that I can understand, but it's whatever in my opinion. I'm not looking for the most high definition graphics, like computer breaking style games. I'm looking for a game that is fun, enjoyable. It could be like an 80-bit retro thing. Like I could be playing a game back from the 1990s, or hell, even like the 1800s, even though they didn't exist back then. But if it's entertaining, I'm going to play it. That's how it simple works for me. If it's a game that I like, no matter what it, unless there's controversy behind it, then maybe not. But I don't know. There's some stuff that I'm going to play despite how messed up they kind of are. I don't know where I'm going with this. Basically, some of their criticisms on it is just so stupid.
X you want? Oh, you will not be disappointed. Okay, we got one of the big three out of the way already. Let's get the other not super bad one out of the way. Okay, Sony is still a lot. Sony may not have been in the news as much as the other two, but they did plenty of stuff to warrant being on here. Let's see.
What they do this time?
With the yearly PSN outage that even derailed physical games. What? Oh, okay. To be fair, it's only for people who didn't sync their disk drive attachments to the PS5 Pro prior, and if you turned on offline gaming and console sharing, you could still play single-player digital games you downloaded. But that's a lot of stupid hoop jumping and ignores the fact that it's the exact thing people were worried about with the Pro being digital only. I miss the days of that PS4 commercial they did to slam Microsoft. Now you got a cease and desist order over an online mod. Guys, one of Nintendo's headlines got mixed in here. Oh, it was Sony. Yeah, they sent the C&D to a 60 frames per second patch for Bloodborne. Oh, no! How dare you make a better version of a game people actually want to get ported to PC? The patch can still be found online and be used with the PS4 emulator, but it was a bad taste for most Soulsborne fans. Don't worry, Sony. It's not like FromSoft will jump ship and go make a game with Nintendo. Ooh. Well, that isn't the only C&D Sony sent, as they also killed a fan revival project for Concord. Yeah, Concord. The game that some people actually liked, and Sony doesn't want anything to do with anymore. They C&D'd it. Got servers working for it and everything, but nope, back down to hell for you. But I need to briefly detour to something less silly. That being Bungie. Bungie. Nope, it's nothing Destiny 2 related, but it is live service related. Sony loves making the same mistakes because its new live service shooter, Marathon, really showed its Concord side. And before release, there were reports of a toxic environment, with a former dev saying that Bungie management needed to be gutted. Also, there were reports of them stealing from artists for the entire art direction. The CEO had to step down, and people said Bungie was paying people to fully play the beta of Marathon. It was bad.
Damn.
And this is where we would get Helldivers 2. Or at least we would have. See, despite being one of the best games of last year, the updates turned the game into an unplayable mess with optimization that makes Borderlands 4 blush. But to their credit, it got fixed. And incredibly so, with them reducing the file size from over 100 gigs to barely a third of that.
Damn!
Okay, no shade. Impressive. Good job. I guess it is weird seeing both Nintendo and Sony at the bottom too, and Nintendo being mostly fan discourse. But it goes to show that despite problems that two of the biggest gaming companies in the world can give, they're always worse. We'll get there. Don't worry.
I wonder if he's going to truly talk about Concord, because that was a massive flop that deserved it.
The media.
I'm the one that tells lies.
Oh, this one just came out.
No matter what it is you're trying to be informed about, politics, fashion, current events, entertainment, whatever, it seems that there will always be media outlets to drag and dry the goods straight out of what's going on.
Yeah, that's why I don't look at the media, only the weather.
Is bad. Heck, our little channel could technically be considered journalism, and I think we're pretty good. But there are some journalists that are more akin to vultures than anything else. remember a little game, a little lesser-known title called Hollow Knight Silksong? It's a little underground. So Team Cherry leveled the playing field by not allowing critics to play the game ahead of normal players. Well, the critics didn't like that, and for a little fit that they couldn't play the game first. Oh.
Screw off.
Hey, so fact check, Silksong is not your game, and only Team Cherry decides what to do with it.
It's only 3 people.
Oh no, your reviews will have to be delayed a few days, and you'll have to form opinions at the same time as non-journalists? Whatever shall you do? In the same vein as Elden Ring Night Ring, which some journalists deride for being extremely difficult in solo play. A multiplayer-focused roguelike made by FromSoft is difficult when you play alone. Oh, stop the presses, everybody! But if journalists just being cringe about difficult games is all that happened,
this
well,
one.
they wouldn't
I
exactly
remember
be on
that.
here. Journalists have a tendency to stretch the truth a lot, and this year was no exception. Now Microsoft. Oh, good old Microsoft. According to some news outlets, they've been claiming consoles aren't the future anymore, and that they would finally step out of the console wars. Except not really, because they never said this. Just news outlets picking and choosing certain statements, which, believe me, we'll get to in a later segment, but were misrepresented all for sensational clicks. Also in their sites was Valve, who, according to many sites, took down the Counter-Strike mod Classic Strike with a cease and desist.
What?
Another case of the big man striking down the little man, right? Well, that's all neglecting the tiny little detail of the mod using leaked source engine exploits that, legally speaking, Valve had every right to take down. It's no surprise that after faking drama like this, 2 of the most prominent sites, Polygon and Giant Bomb, just got hit with mass layoffs as the corporations in charge began subsidizing them. Say what you will about how bad they can get.
Oh boy.
Losing your job is never fun when the decisions to make those headlines likely come from these corporate overlords. And that's the thing. In the world of game journalism, no good deed goes unpunished. Let's not forget
Screw
our
journalists.
favorite gaming studio of them all, Blizzard Activision, who tried to sue several journalism outlets for defamation on account of their documented, infamous workplace sexual harassment issues, which were proven time after time.
Blizzard deserves
after
this.
Time after time.
It's like getting
really,
they deserve being don't deserve to sue, because frankly they deserve all the defamation they deserve, because oh my gosh, that is the fact that they're still operational is a miracle in itself. They really should have been shut down like ages ago with how much they've been doing.
Hardly a
Screw
year where
Blizzard.
gaming journalism doesn't cause issues all over the place, and we're here to remind you that was definitely the case for 2025. A lot of times on these lists, we get the same industry offenders, some of which we've already gone over and will go over later on. That's why it's paradoxically refreshing and agonizing to see a company we've never talked about
Subnautica.
before screw up badly enough to end up on one of these lists. Case in point, Krafton.
I thought you said Krafton was the good company that saved Tango Gameworks.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
I was wrong.
Yay, I get to add another sentence that aged like milk to my ever-growing pile of cottage cheese. Screw
Oh,
me for
crap.
being optimistic. What the Krafton Inc.? This year you
They
went from
screwed
the
up so
savior
hard.
Tango Gameworks and the Hi-Fi Russia IP to an AI-first company. But hey, I'll give them credit for this. They're offering their employees the chance to resign. You know, that might be the smartest decision they ever made, given that no one will want to work for them after the Subnautica 2 devs got screwed over.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
somehow the plagiarism
This is
software prioritization.
I love Subnautica and Below Zero. If you want me to play through it, let me know. I definitely will. But oh, the fact that they screwed over the Subnautica 2 team so goddamn hard for zero reason. Zero. Screw is pissing me the fuck off. Screw Krafton. Oh my gosh, I know a good bit about this one, but oh my gosh, they fucking pissed me off there.
Wasn't the worst thing that Krafton did this year. Krafton delayed the release of Subnautica 2 in an attempt to get out of a $250 million payout that they owed the devs. They would then proceed to fire the founders of Unknown Worlds, and this has resulted in a heated lawsuit against Krafton for violating their agreement. Of course, the new CEO of Unknown Worlds has attempted to deny this, but that hasn't stopped the legal battle from escalating into a full-on war. Now the former CEOs of Unknown are fighting Krafton over ChatGPT records after it was revealed that Krafton CEO Chang'em Kim apparently consulted ChatGPT for ways to get out of paying the Subnautica 2 devs.
Damn.
He did this so that he could avoid the professional embarrassment of being seen as a pushover. Hey, here's a hot tip if you're a CEO. Being seen as a pushover is a lot less embarrassing than being seen as a higher-up who doesn't pay his staff!
You dirty liar! You scumbag!
Krafton's decline these years honestly made me worried for Tango Gameworks and the Hi-Fi Rush IP, even with news that a sequel is supposedly in production. If I were Tango Gameworks, I'd consider leaving Krafton and looking for a new publisher, but
Agreed.
I'd understand if they can't. And yeah, you can still play Hi-Fi Rush on PC, and you can still listen to the songs featured on the soundtrack despite claims that both were delisted at some point. But given Krafton's treatment of the Subnautica 2 devs and their mission to make plagiarism software their first software, I can't help but feel like I should be wearing a dunce cap for even having the slightest bit of faith in them.
Aw, poor Josh.
I deserve this. Everybody betray me and I am the fool.
But poor Josh. Poor Josh. And we've only gone through
I generally try to stay away from talking about IRL politics in these videos. People usually watch my stuff to forget about the state of the world. This time, however, is a topic that I don't feel like I'm speaking from ignorance on. With the whole video games cause violence claim being discredited, Moral Guardians had to find a new target. And dag frickin' nabbit, they succeeded. Earlier this year, payment processors hit Valve and Itch.io with new policies that massively crippled adult games. They de-indexed tens of thousands of them. On Steam, the process of approving an adult game for early access was made way more restrictive thanks to a number of new rules. And yes, I'm sure said rules won't be arbitrarily enforced in any way.
What the hell is this?
One developer lost out on a total of 80,000 euros in revenue thanks to PayPal freezing their account.
In English?
A Japanese marketplace DL site went so far as to start their very own payment processor to avoid censorship. But Itch.io did allow adult games to be re-indexed, if they're free. And no, this isn't a matter of, oh, won't someone think of the poor gooners? Full disclaimer, I myself am not an enjoyer of adult games by any stretch of the imagination.
Hello, honey
I
pop.
have my own strong personal views, and despite my distaste, censoring this sort of content is a very easy stepping stone to mass censorship of anything deemed problematic. Why do you think book bannings always start with the bad ones? A lot of these still need to be talked about.
What is the bad one exactly?
Heck, I've talked about some of them in my videos. Besides, it's not like the companies themselves are exclusively to blame in this debacle. It really does feel like their hands were forced. And there are plenty of useful idiots whose attitudes have been used to spearhead the initiative. Stuff like accusing anyone of having a physical attraction to a fictional character being a gooner, equating fetishes with mental illness, dehumanizing smut creators, claiming sexualization and objectification are the same thing, thinking that being a furry makes someone want to abuse animals, believing SA survivors aren't allowed to act sexual, looking down on those who, God forbid, legally spend their own money the way they want, minors attempting to integrate themselves into adult spaces, then getting pissy when adults talk about adult things, and people who are so strict with rep that they end up repeating reductive viewpoints. I'm certainly not against safeguards like mature content warnings or disclaimers, but when it comes at the cost of a dev's livelihood, we might need to have a talk.
Yeah, Steam was basically forced in that one. I feel so sorry for them.
Oh, there's a familiar face, Ubisoft. Shouldn't you try to
Hello,
avoid being
Ubisoft.
on the list nearly every year?
Should I? Perhaps. Will I? No. Do I enjoy being difficult? Most definitely.
I don't know how they do it. Oh, right. Misconduct, bribery, forcibly removing games from paying customers' libraries. Right. There aren't a lot of surprises on how low those stoop, are there? But what does surprise me is the variety of foul-ups they commit each year. First off, we finally got Assassin's Creed Shadows. So now there's more to talk about than just the fact that they based the game on speculation instead of actual Japanese history, like they keep claiming. What reports we did find, the game sold well despite everything. In fact, it was standing at number 3 on the sales chart.
Really?
Which is nice and all. As long as you don't mind that the game was outsourced to a literal sweatshop. More
Damn.
specifically, they outsourced the game to Brandeville Studios, which has a cited history of mental and physical abuse from its higher-ups. Thankfully, they shut
Yeah.
down in 2024, but not before aiding a corrupt company that refuses to die.
Why won't you die?
Microtransactions.
However,
Oh,
even
boy.
Shadow's supposed success isn't enough to help Ubisoft handle 4 years of major losses. Around the summer, they stopped sharing their sales numbers with investors altogether. They cited that they share them in the coming future. Oh, okay, so is that before or after GTA 6? Of course, that won't stop them from trying to save their tails with a major buyout from Tencent. Basically, this new deal creates a new subsidiary that exclusively handles Ubisoft's heavy hitter series. Too bad they can't keep their stocks from dropping like a dead weight. And naturally, rather than take accountability, they'll continue the tradition of saying the quiet parts through a megaphone, blaming their poor sales on folks playing fewer games longer. Their solution? Put even more emphasis on open world and live service titles, and you better believe they'll keep them
Microtransactions.
coming. They're practically paying for Assassin's Creed updates anyway, because according to them, nickel and diming their players in a game makes them more fun.
No. No, it doesn't.
I can imagine.
And they're still going on about how players don't actually own games, just have limited
Bullshit.
licenses for them. Which is
Bullshit.
technically true, but they're not supposed to say it.
So you have come this far, and still you understand nothing.
As much as I enjoy ripping apart this company's financial failures, I gotta wrap this up. So what else has Ubisoft been up to this year? Oh, well, 3 more executives got ousted for sexual harassment and outright racism.
Of course.
Oh, they canceled a Civil War era game to not get involved with politics. Unsure how I
What?
feel about that one, honestly. Oh, that they basically embraced AI as a revolution with its oncoming NPC project. Oh, more privacy scandals. They're now in bed with Visa, which means more nickel and diming. Oh, here, Ubisoft updated their end user license agreement to demand players destroy their games.
What?
Good luck with that. Oh, and get this, they're threatening to sue anyone who dares criticize them. Okay, bring it on. At this point, it's a miracle
They're going to
they still
lose
have a
so
leg
hard.
stand
I'm going
on.
to get
It's
so
one of the
much
few
money.
companies where it feels like layoffs would be a blessing in disguise. Oh, that's right. A few ex-Ubisoft alumni helped with Claire Obscure with a smaller budget, and it's thriving. While Ubisoft keeps driving its way into the grave. And taking its sweet time getting there.
Seriously, how is it still alive at this point? You're fired. So many layoffs. I feel so sorry for all of them. Some probably deserve it, but I just feel so sorry for everyone who got fired for
Can't lose this
bullshit.
job. Boss, come down here. Boss, why are you giving me a severance check after all I've done for you?
If you're unsatisfied, Walker, you make it to
You know what? I'm staging a walkout.
me. Walker. Sir, I insist you give me the check.
Boss, get out of my way.
You do not work there anymore.
What are you talking about? Why not?
That is just business, Walker. Give me the check.
What do you mean, just business? You don't keep a secret from your workers.
Give me the check.
Boss, what's just business?
The check.
Tell me, boss, or I'm suing.
Okay, Walker.
What the fuck is it? He always does one of these.
Hey there, employee. Got some bad news. Our mission to make ourselves trillionaires has, well, failed. Wouldn't you know it, our business practices have made things financially unsustainable within our company.
Unsustainable? What?
Darn it all, not even being successful will save you from being shuttered. So, you're all fired. Rather than try to fix the problem we created, it would be easier to fire all 18,190.
Damn, I didn't know many.
Gaming companies.
Easier?
Sir, it's time to lay off more people. Okay, I'm giving override directive AI 13. Go full AI, take control of everything, and do not return to work. I repeat, do not return to work. Let's go lay off some more people.
Wow.
No. The check.
No, wait a minute. Computer, how much money do these companies make?
We make somewhere between 2 billion and 20 billion. We don't really keep track. The point is, we are richer than you.
That's over 20,000 times what I make in a year.
Boss, things have changed. You can't just let us go.
Orders are, do not return to work.
But this company is sustainable now. Look at these games. The greed is growing. It's living proof that he's wrong.
Irrelevant worker.
What? It's completely irrelevant. This industry is our home. Home, boss, and it's in trouble. You can't just fire us and make us do nothing. That's all you've ever done. That's all anyone in this blasted company has ever done. Nothing!
Become an indie dev, you will get by.
I don't want to get by! I want to thrive!
And to work in the video game industry.
Oh boy. I just feel so sorry for everyone here.
We are honest and hardworking employees. We are unionizing today! Get out!
Oh man, that really does suck so goddamn hard.
Hey, Microsoft, buddy, old pal, come here. I just got one quick question for you. Just a small little thing I gotta ask. What is wrong with you this year? 2025 was a bad year for Microsoft. A year where pretty much any good faith people had for the company collapsed. Every time we thought, oh, it can't get any worse. Oh yeah, it got worse. Let's start slowly. Last year, Microsoft showed off gameplay of the Perfect Dark reboot, finally bringing back one of Rare's old IPs after so long. This year, they updated us with the exciting news that the entire project was canned and the studio working on it got laid off.
Damn.
Come on, really? Just all that work completely down the drain. Plus, Microsoft now has the prestigious honor of breaking the record of most layoffs in the entire industry. A round of applause for them and putting so many people out of a job. Oh, but hey, at least we can still enjoy the amount of stuff on Xbox Game Pass.
No.
What's that? Microsoft. Why?
Because why not?
You had a good thing going with Game Pass. It was pretty much the thing everyone could point at and say, yeah, at least Microsoft is doing that right. Now its pricing has ballooned and it's not like you're getting more bang for your buck because, oops, now you don't even get DLCs on Game Pass. Oh, but don't worry if you can't afford it because get this, cloud gaming's now free. With ads. It's only a matter of time before Gears of War gets interrupted by Cerveza Cristal and super really turns consumers to seemingly just jacking everything up for spite. But if you think Microsoft is stopping there, oh, no, it's getting worse. Now developers have to pay more with price hikes to the dev kit, just in case you thought Microsoft wanted to pay people for working for them. Nope, you pay Microsoft for the privilege of working with them. And how about those workers, man? Microsoft has its priorities straight with them. Why it even fired some of them for protesting, what exactly was it? Not for protest.
I'm going to read what it says.
What exactly was it?
Microsoft fires 4 workers for on-site protests over company's ties to...
Not pulling the pin on that grenade.
Agreed.
Collective rot,
I'm saying out of that.
Decay of the Xbox brand all serves a greater purpose in Microsoft's eyes. You see, to them, paltry things such as exclusive games are an outdated thing of the past. And Microsoft wants Xbox as a brand to seek new competition in TikTok.
What?
TikTok.
Hold on. TikTok.
Oh, it's dire. And how's that Activision acquisition going? Oh, yeah, I thought so. The future of Xbox and Microsoft is just it's just bleak. And with news that even Xbox is feeling the effects of RAM shortages thanks to the AI bubble, they've pretty much reserved a seat at next year's fails list. Speaking of which... Generative
I really hope that doesn't get me
AI,
copyrighted.
Another topic where nuance goes to die. The sliding scale opinion of generative AI is as such. On one extreme, we have the moral crusaders. You know, the they took our jobs types who view even touching the stuff as haram.
What the
and
fuck
view
is that
their
face?
own contributions as sacred even when they deliver shoddy work. It's gotten to the point people who actually aren't using AI are losing their jobs. Closer to the center, we have the reasonably leery. People concerned about genuine issues like creatives getting replaced by something ultimately inferior or making computer parts more expensive. or
I'm
just
here.
downright theft and plagiarism.
I'm
Further
on this
down,
one.
we have people like myself, the cautiously
And here.
optimistic.
I'm in the
those who
middle.
see and are interested in the tool's potential. After all, both Baldur's Gate 3 and Clair Obscur were developed with the help of this software. Not dominated, with help. As were some other great indie games this year. But it is necessary to recognize the ethical uses and the abuses. And on the other extreme, we have the tasteless idiots. You know, the ones who think AI generations are on the same level as human-made art. Who
Not
use it
even
to cut
close.
corners and who use it just to use it. And arguably cause 10 times the amount of suffering and problems that people on the other extreme could ever hope to accomplish. Guess who we're talking about today? Since I'm probably lacking in options in terms of things to make, I give you the 10 dumbest defenses for using plagiarism software we saw in 2025. After his NFTs crashed and burned, formerly beloved artist Cosma Kaneko revealed he was working on a new game using plagiarism software. But don't worry, guys, it was only trained on his artwork. Well, what's all this then? You know, you wouldn't have this problem if you just drew everything yourself. Okay, admitting your problems is the first step on the road to recovery.
Wait, what's it say? Artist, not saying those names because I'm going to butcher them so goddamn right. Says teaching AI to draw like him was more time-consuming than making art from scratch. Ha, good. Deserved. He deserves a downfall after that.
And regardless, I'm sure the game will still do just fine. They laid off 70 people.
Oh boy.
They call this the logical result. Pocket Pair, the developers of Pal World, turned around on it. Huh. So what do I talk about for this spot then? You'll do. Ball Buds, yet another Kickstarter scam using blatantly obvious slop to advertise a game that's totally real, you guys. You know, I'm not going to jump to conclusions on this one. I mean, we all did with Pal World, and we saw how that turned out. Plus, it's really important to actually do your research before you... No, that's wrong. Well, break my light screen. I guess that would explain why we couldn't find any information on most of the totally real staff members. Not to mention the whole digital cards thing sounding suspiciously close to just being an NFT scam. Yet another beloved creator is using highly automated theft. Zun, the creator of the Toho project, revealed he used it in his latest game. When asked about this, he claimed that he's against it, but he also said that denying AI or rejecting it just because you dislike it would be the same as losing to it. Feel like you gotta workshop that one a little bit? And don't worry, guys, it was made with Adobe Firefly. They're an ethical model. About that?
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
I don't use Premiere.
AI will lead to being a better paid worker. Man, I cannot believe an article would be published with such an obvious typo. He clearly said CEOs, not workers. Immediately after the Microsoft layoffs, one Xbox exec suggested that laid-off workers should use AI to reduce the emotional and cognitive load that comes with job loss.
What?
Excuse me for a moment.
What?
The CEO of Level 5 recently revealed that games are now being made 80 to 90% by AI, making aesthetic sense
Not
a must
Yokai
for developers.
Watch.
I really don't think you should be using AI and aesthetic sense in the same sentence.
No.
Getting back to mobile games, an insider report by staff confirmed that developers are set to be replaced by robots. But don't worry, the higher-ups made sure to send out one last middle finger internal memo explaining everything. Corporate apology translator, I choose you!
Go fuck yourself.
Just because you're not a gaming company doesn't mean you can't screw over gamers. Micron recently announced that they're putting all their RAM towards AI. In other news, consoles and PCs are somehow going to become more overpriced.
Oh, lovely.
Just like Bitcoin, this is starting to feel less and less like a bubble. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is absolutely flooded with blatantly fake images. And by fake, I mean you can see a hand with 6 fingers. Activision claimed that this will empower developers. Yeah, it's about as empowering as cocaine is to a recovering addict. Never again, my decision to stop buying Call of Duty yearly is more and more vindicated. Remember a couple fails lists ago when I talked about how the finals proudly proclaimed its use of unethical voice replication? Well, they're clearly proud of themselves because their next game, Arc Raiders, continues the trend. But let's go easy on them. They didn't have enough money to hire actual voice actors.
How much money?
Oh, wait, they do. And
$7
to
billion.
journalists who gave this a 2 out of 5 solely on that fact, on the record, unprofessional. Off the record, unprofessional.
Smartly designed execution shooter carried by one I cannot read. Excusable decision. Good.
Off the record.
They actually learned something. Ooh, dishonorable mentions.
V Shoujo, only adjacently gaming related, but losing all your members after taking away charity money and demanding them money to file for bankruptcy is next level pathetic. Pirate Software, Bader Meinhof phenomenon is a bitch.
Idiot.
Chicken jockey.
Clearly, no one learned their lesson from Gentleminions. Warner Brothers shut down 3 gaming studios, then got bought out by Netflix. Only time will tell if they can recover from this. Riot removes free chess from League and allows betting on professional games. That's just gambling with extra steps. Sega, Persona 5 Phantom X screws over Western players, and a Crush 40 lawsuit that really didn't go anywhere. Gearbox, all Randy had to do was keep his mouth shut and not make Borderlands 4's buggy launch worse.
You had one job. One job.
Oh boy. Oh, how bad is number 1? If everything else has been so bad.
Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. This is a verse from the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20. To my absolute chagrin, this year's number 1 is the perfect encapsulation of this verse. And the number 1 spot goes to the Game Awards.
Oh, ha.
I mean, come on. Having your last big announcement be for a live service game and snubbing Sonic 3 at the best adaptation no doubt makes the Game Awards the single worst.
Boss, I think you might be forgetting someone.
What? Huh? Who?
Well, Game Awards do deserve it, though.
Roblox.
Oh, yeah.
Roblox? Minecraft's online kitty rival?
Deserved.
Really, what could they have possibly done?
Yeah, it's just...
Game Awards are honorable mentions, I guess.
To fully understand how badly Roblox screwed up this year, we need to talk about a long-standing issue with them. For years, Roblox has been tragically plagued by predators, luring minors into internet chat rooms for the purposes of grooming them. For way too long, Roblox has been radio silent about this problem, and this negligence only made things worse. Then came a man who went by the name Schlep. This man had to deal with a groomer on Roblox firsthand, and it affected him so badly that he's hospitalized after an attempt on his own life.
Oh, poor
Schlepp's
Schlep.
mom messaged Roblox while in the hospital, and for the longest time, they did nothing. Thus, Schlep made it his mission to make sure that Roblox's predator problem was taken care of, despite the fact that it was their mess to clean up in the first place. He worked with his team and police to find and arrest 6 Roblox predators to date. This was very noble of Schlep to do.
Enjoy
working
hell.
with law enforcement to ensure that these predators are brought to justice.
Beat up.
With these arrests being made public, Roblox took notice of what Schlep was doing, and thus, they finally responded to the predator problem after years of silence. And what did they do? No, that clip is not an exaggeration. Roblox responded by sending out bans and a cease and desist, not to a predator or any group of predators, but to Schlep and his entire team. All of the accounts that they used to catch predators on Roblox, just gone. Roblox has had predators on their platform making and using games to lure kids into chat rooms, which has led to grooming and kidnapping, and they ignored it for years. And the one time they actually respond to this problem, they not only enable this predatory behavior, but they have the unmitigated
How many are
gall
predators
to
in the
condemn
Roblox team?
The only person who cared enough to do something about it.
Probably
Say what you
most
want
of the
about
CEOs are
Activision
predators.
or Ubisoft and all the shit they put their employees through. They at least never endangered children. Well, that we know of. Oh, gosh. So you're probably wondering, what could have possibly prompted Roblox to send out a cease and desist to Schlep? Well, their grounds for this C&D were the following. Online vigilantism, which is completely bogus when you consider the fact that Schlep was working with law enforcement, not taking the law into his own hands. It'd be one thing if he were acting as jury, judge, and executioner all on his own, but he wasn't doing that. He played nice with law enforcement, and they helped him arrest 6 predators as a result. The next claim was that Schlep was endangering their users.
What?
Oh, I see the problem. They said users instead of predators. Finally, Roblox accused Schlep of entrapment. Yeah, that's not only stupid, that's also victim blaming. See, Schlep and his team posed as minors, unaware what these Roblox predators wanted, as most minors sadly are. They waited for the predators to make advances towards them, followed them into chat rooms, and agreed to meet with them at a location that they would then give to the police. That is not entrapment. That implies that Schlepp and his team are making the advances and that these predators are somehow the victims. Do I need to explain how insensitive and disgusting that is? This blatant enabling of predatory behavior and insistence that the only one doing something about it is somehow the bad guy really makes you wonder what skeletons Roblox themselves have in their closet.
So
the CEO,
many.
David Baszucki, blocking Schlepp on Twitter after he messaged him. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's a coincidence. Meanwhile, Roblox's VP of Civility and Partnerships, Tammy Bomick, stated that all of this negative press is coming from something that happened 5 years ago. Why are you still mad? Can't we just let it go already?
No.
Oh, Tammy. Oh. You and your disgusting company deserve so much more than negative press. The consequences for this would be severe, and yet somehow not severe enough. Roblox would receive several lawsuits from states like Louisiana, Kentucky, and Florida, and they would even be sued by Schlepp himself. Thus, Roblox would lose a grand total of $12 billion in market cap. Even U.S. Congressman Ro Khanna got involved by contacting Schlepp and petitioning Roblox to do more to protect children on their platform. On top of that,
Roblox
Hansen,
is so screwed.
Yeah, that Chris Hansen also got in contact with Schlepp, and now he wants Roblox's CEO to have a seat.
What the fuck am I looking at?
The consequences of our actions. And it's only going to get worse from here.
Naturally, any company caught red-handed in enabling predatory behavior want to heighten the security of their platform to protect those that are on it, right? Well, when asked about the predator problem in a hard fork interview, CEO David Baszucki said that he didn't see it as much of a problem, rather an opportunity.
What the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a rare case where a CEO lying would have been the better option. But hey, to give him credit, he said he would start upping security on Roblox by implementing an AI-powered facial age estimation tool. Are you kidding me? Does David just not know how privacy works? And would you look at that? While pretending to care about the safety of children, CEO David also utters in the same breath that he encourages children to gamble with Robux, an in-game currency that costs actual money. You know what? Dropping the serious tone. I'm gonna play it. I've called out many companies over the years, all for some very heinous things, but this is beyond the pale. Literal criminal negligence.
This is the worst by miles.
The safety of minors shown not only through Roblox's inaction, but through their enabling of disgusting.
Say what you want about Blizzard, like they deserve, and Ubisoft, they deserve everything that comes to it, but they at least didn't endanger kids that we know of yet. They're probably somewhere, hiding somewhere. They just haven't found it yet. But Roblox is on a completely different level. Oh my gosh, I hope this crash and burns so goddamn hard and the CEO and basically everyone in power is arrested and basically given so many crimes to their record, it's impossible for them to not rot in jail. They are going to die slowly and painfully with their own actions at this point. Screw Roblox. I'm glad I never got into it because, oh my gosh, it is terrible.
Criminal behavior by giving the boot to the only one that actually gave a damn. If Schlepp is gonna get ousted, then I think it's time to give Roblox's CEO the same treatment. Otherwise, Roblox needs to get wiped off the face of the internet for good.
Agreed.
I'm Josh Scorcher, and you know, it sucks. I've been doing these annual fails lists since 2020, and every year I see most of the same things. Negligence, workplace abuse, greed, the works. This is the first year I was actually surprised by a gaming industry fail making the top spot. And honestly, it gets disheartening to see that the industry, from a conduct standpoint, is getting worse. Now, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not pulling the plug on these fails countdowns. That's nowhere near on my mind right now. I'm just, I don't know, not black-pilled, just disheartened. While the games industry has reached a new low, this is honestly a great year for games, especially from the indie scene. And
Agreed
I don't want
on
those
that one.
to be overshadowed just because some CEO decided to do something criminal. What if?
Ooh. I'm definitely going to react to that one. February 1st. Okay. I will say 100%. I love this video. Oh my gosh, these games are so bad. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to see how badly games screw up this year. Oh boy, mainly companies. I hope Ubisoft and Roblox finally are taken out back in old Yellard, because they so deserve it. Like, straight up, Roblox just needs to be taken off the face of the earth. Like, say what you want about Ubisoft, like, yeah, it deserves everything that comes to it, but the fact that Roblox is allowing this predatory behavior to be allowed in the first place, straight up, I feel like it just needs to be straight up deleted from the internet. Like, everyone on the internet just needs to delete it from their servers. Like, straight up. Or, hell, I don't know technically who owns the internet or who can do that, but whoever does needs to just hit Control-Alt-Delete on that damn game. Screw Roblox. I hope it dies this year, because straight up, it is disgusting. Oh, but until then, I guess I'll see whatever I post next, I guess. Bye, guys!